Okay, so what I'm gathering from the comments is what's been proven is that I took my grandmother to court in a wheelchair. I do not remember my grandmother being there. I don't know how I took her to court when I didn't even take myself to court. See, at the time, I was staying with an ex-boyfriend who had me addicted to morphine, and the police came and picked me up from his house the morning of the trial and took me to the court. So y'all are saying that I picked my grandmother up, I drove her to court, I put her in a wheelchair, and then I cried and claimed that I was her sole caregiver, and that Kathy proved all of this. But I don't know how she could prove something that didn't happen. It's not possible that I drove my grandmother to the hospital and put her in to the court and put her in a wheelchair when the police took me to the court. And she didn't have a wheelchair. She had a walker. My grandmother would not have used a wheelchair. She was very prideful. Even when she couldn't walk, she would not use a chair. So if Kathy somehow showed evidence of me taking my grandmother to court in a wheelchair, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane that exists, because I have no memory of it. But okay, congratulations, I guess. Good job. What does it change? And y'all are saying, well, Kathy's not asking for money. Well, it seemed like a dry bag. That's what y'all say to me. Every time I post anything, you say, well, it's a dry bag. You're dry bagging. So yesterday, there was a comment about a fundraiser for Kathy. I said that Kathy did not need a fundraiser to put up those documents. And then suddenly, Kathy is uploading documents. To me, that is like a silent way of saying, go ahead for the fundraiser. I've got the documents. I'm uploading them for you. You're on the right track. I'm not going to verbalize this, but you're in the comments saying it already. You've mentioned the fundraiser, so here's a little bit of the documents that you want, and you can fill in the rest. The problem is these documents don't cost any money. They are all public record. So y'all are paying her to release public records that you could easily get yourself. And none of it is going to change anything. So that's all there is about it. The way that my story is being told at this point, it sounds like it's somebody else's life completely. The idea of me pushing my grandmother in a wheelchair in front of a courtroom of people is blasphemous to my grandmother. And that's what Kathy's saying, apparently. That's disgusting. Anybody that knew my grandmother knew that she wasn't going to sit down in a wheelchair. Especially not in front of a courtroom full of people. Good Lord. You could barely keep that woman down in a hospital where people know you're sick.